June 22nd, 2023. Today's the WNBA Lean Show. I'm Brian, your host. If you're watching, appreciate you watching. Could you do me a favor? Subscribe to the channel. Help me grow a little bit. If you're not already subscribed, I would appreciate that. I'm trying to find 800 people that want to bet the NBA with me this fall because we are going to make a killing. So subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Let's go right into it. I got my laptop right here. I'm in a different spot today. No worries. There are 3 games. And we're going to go over 2 of the 3. We're going to mention the third game, which is, this is a game we're not going to mess with today. UConn Sun visiting the Minnesota Lynx. The Lynx just finished another victory over the LA Sparks. The Sun are just juggernauts right now. So that's a game I'm going to stay away from. If you like it, cool, bet it. And as a matter of fact, I want to give you this disclaimer before we get in here. Take what I say right now. I have not made any bets. It's 6:45 in the morning. I am in Las Vegas. I'm on the Pacific time zone. So if you are betting these games and you don't agree with what I say, cool, toss it out, do what you want to do, we're good. If you like what I say, cool. I did win 2 of the last games in the last video. If you watch that video, both of those leans that I gave you wind up winning. So we're going to go right into the Mystics visiting the Chicago Sky. Now, here's the thing with this. The Sky's having a very tough time winning a game. The Washington Mystics, they won 2 of actually 4 of the last 5 games. So they come into Chicago. The last game they won was in Chicago, minus the 4.5. And I actually liked the Mystics in that game, if you recall, a couple of videos ago. Okay, so the Sky comes in here. They've lost 4 straight, including the previous one in Washington to the Mystics as a 4.5-point dog. Now they come in this game here today, and they are 3.5-point dogs. But I want to go back to, just so we can take a look at this, while I have you here, let's go back to the matchup between these two, okay? Because when you look at the head-to-head on this, we can see that the Washington Mystics came out from under. The Chicago Sky had covered 5 in a row. So the Mystics came up over the top, and they win as a favorite there. And so these things work in rhythms. If you don't remember what I said, or if you hadn't watched a video, these things, I look at the whole series. I look at what they're playing in the season. Obviously, they just played each other. It's on a back-to-back. They're actually, the Sky are coming home. But what I do is I look at the series as a whole, and I look at the last, 10, because I'm on covers.com, and Washington has covered 4 of the last 10. Chicago Sky has dominated in this series 6 of the last 10. And the dog has been pretty big in this series. In fact, the dog has covered 6 of the last 10. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go home here. I'm going to take the Chicago Sky plus the 3.5. I think they're going to get a W here. It's been a while, but I just saw the sequence in the previous game with the Mystics, and I look at numbers. I look at sequences. I look at how numbers react next to other numbers. I like the sequence for the Chicago Sky. I think they're going to stay inside of the 3.5. I think they might even clip them and get a win here. So this game, I'm going with the Sky plus the 3.5. Good luck, whatever you decide on this one. So we're passing up the UConn Sun and the Minnesota Lynx. We're going to go right to tonight, the late game. Indiana Fever going into Seattle Storm. On the surface, if you look at these two teams got great logos. They got great logos. I want to say this, though. So the Fever have been playing a lot better than the Seattle Storm have. Okay, let me just pull this up here as I look at this with you. Okay, the Fever are 4-7, Seattle Storm 3-8. So they don't have winning records, although Indiana's been kind of hot lately. Indiana's 5-4 against the spread. Seattle 7-3 against the spread. Got a really good record against the spread. In fact, I gave you Seattle plus the 8.5. Versus the UConn Sun in the last game. Okay, so we did get that. Hold on just a second. Let me pull it here. Okay, so yeah, so Seattle came back late to close the gap against the Sun. They stay inside the number. You know that I gave you that one. Indiana Fever, they just lost against the Atlanta Dream in an absolute shootout at home. They scored 94, which is a lot of points for a WNBA. We're talking about 4 10-minute quarters. That's a lot of points. Seattle, they can score, and they're on kind of a bit of a win-loss pattern. But here's what happens in this game. I'm looking at the matchup, and the Seattle Storm have covered actually 4 of the last 5 in this series, including a 14-point 14-point favorite last year in July. But I just think that Indiana coming in as a favorite at 4-7, tough. But I just think Indiana's going to win this game. I don't think Seattle's ready to win another game yet. And so even though it's the Fever -1.5, I'd play a money line if I was going to do it. I have not bet any of these games yet, just to make sure that you understand that. I like right now, as I'm looking at the 6:45 in the morning, I like Indiana minus the 1.5. I think they come in here, and I think you're going to see them beat the Storm in this game. It could be a close game. It could be. Both of these teams aren't good. They aren't used to winning, but Indiana is a winner of 3 of their last 5 games, and they have been playing really well. Even though they lost 2 games of the last 5, they've only lost by a couple of points, while Seattle, when they do lose, Seattle can get beat by a lot more points. But my point here is I think Indiana's playing better. I like Indiana, even though they're on the road. And as a matter of fact, to give you one more tidbit, Seattle can't win at home. Indiana has all they've done is won on the road. So that's even another reason to take Indiana. I'm taking Indiana. I appreciate you watching. Whatever you bet, leave a comment. Hit the like button if you don't mind before you leave this video. And if you haven't subscribed, obviously I'm going to ask you to subscribe one more time. I'm looking for 800 NBA bettors this fall. We did really well last year. The NBA is my best sport for betting. That's why I do look at the WNBA. Of course, I bet football as well. But bottom line is, just follow me, give me a like, give me a subscribe, and I appreciate you watching. Have a great day.